Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, two graded stakes races on tap at Belmont Park on Saturday. Let's take a look at race number 8. It's the Grade 2 Kelso Handicap. It's a race, it's a card you can bet with a DRF Bets account. Sign up at bets.drf.com, access a 300% deposit match. Here's the field for the Kelso. One-turn dirt mile. Could be a very important prep for the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile this year, a one-turn event at Churchill Downs. We've got the horses that are sort of bookending the field. The 1 Battle of Midway, the 7 Sunny Ridge, they're the class of the race, Mike. Beginning with Battle of Midway, who won last year's Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile over a 2-turn surface at Del Mar. Then he was retired to stud. That didn't work out. And last time out off a long layoff, he was put in a very tough spot.
He was?
Sure he was, in a 4-horse field against a 1-5 favorite that wasn't going to lose.
Right, he couldn't beat Catalina Cruiser. Otherwise, was that a tough spot? No, it wasn't a tough spot. There was nobody else in the race. It was him and Catalina Cruiser, who he couldn't beat. And he ran second without really, to me anyway, doing that much running in that race. He did bobble at the start of that race. He got very tired in the stretch, which I guess isn't unexpected considering the layoff that he was off of there and he was trying to restart his career. I don't know. I didn't love the effort he put in there. I'm not so sure that it makes me want to bet him in this race, but I recognize that it's Jerry Hollendorfer shipping him in for this race, which is a little interesting. And let's be honest about it, Dan. This is not the strongest field. This is not a very strong Grade 2 race. So if he can come back and run his best race, I guess he's tough to beat in here. I just don't trust him.
The 7 Sunny Ridge is a millionaire coming out of sort of a weak edition of the Grade 1 Woodward. Now, he didn't have a great outside post position, and Arad Ortiz tried to hustle him into a forward position. He lost a little bit of ground, but he really didn't fire. His prior race at Belmont, a 1-turn race, he got a really nice trip, but he also fired really hard in the stretch. And I wonder if at this point in his career, he's been versatile for most of his career, if at this point in his career, a mile is his game.
I agree with that. I mean, his race 2 starts back makes me want to like him in here. The other 3 races he's run this year don't make me want him at all in this race. So we'll see what happens. I feel like he got a great ride from Irad last time. I mean, considering the post that he had, for Irad to get him into the position he got him in, right in behind the leaders all the way, taking him clear at the top of the stretch and giving him dead aim on that field, to me, he was pretty disappointing last time. That's the 3rd time this year that I feel like he's run below his best. He does have the race 2 back that makes him a real contender in here, but he's another horse, a lot like Battle of Midway. I don't really trust him, and he's one of the shorter prices on the line.
Let's see where the pace is coming from. According to our friends at Timeform US, they have the 4 No Dozing, the 6 Pattern Recognition out there on the early lead with the aforementioned horses, Battle of Midway, Sunny Ridge in behind. Let's begin with No Dozing, a horse that seems to have really improved with maturity. His 2 starts at 4 have been his 2 best races, and he was gelded over the winter. This is a horse who I really liked his return race at 7 furlongs. I'm not sure what I think about the 4 go. I don't like the older sprinter set.
I agree with that. I don't love that whole division as a class. I thought his race off the layoff was good. I mean, I wasn't blown away by it, but I recognize that he took a step forward. I thought he got a good trip in that race. The horse that he ran down, Behavioral Bias, I don't know how good I think he is. And of course, the horse that finished 3rd, their Awesome Slew, seems like he can't run anymore. So I'm not sure how I felt about the return effort, except that it was his first start off the layoff. I feel like he backed it up pretty well, though, on the 4 go. I mean, I'm with you that that's not a great class of horses, but he didn't get a great trip in that race. I thought he really raced on through the stretch there after having to go very wide. And so that's the race that sort of makes me think he has come back better as a 4-year-old. And he's got speed in a race that's just really lacking any of that. I don't really like the horses who are really short prices on the line. I mean, I think there are a lot of things to like about this horse.
Pattern Recognition has that tactical speed. Heck, he actually went right to the front in his lone race at Saratoga this summer, going 7 furlongs over a wet track that he probably likes. He's 2 for 2 on wet going. Now, there really wasn't any running coming from the back of the pack that day. They basically ran 1-2 around the track, but I like the way he kept finding just a little bit more. He is proven at a 1-turn mile. He has fast races, and while you can look at his record and say, well, 5 times seconds out of 9 starts, maybe he doesn't have that will to win, he's got some tough spots. Horses like Cold Front and Takaful and Coppertown and True Timber. Those are some nice horses, and he just happened to be stuck in those races.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I mean, he did bump into some pretty good allowance horses. It's funny because he's a 5-year-old. This horse is going to be 6 in a few months. Chad's never tried him in a stakes race. Took him forever to get through the 1X, but he did get through it, and then he came right back and got through the 2X. I think, if nothing else, he fits on figures, and Chad's found a really good spot here to try him in a Grade 2 race because it's just really not that strong. I don't know how much I really like him, Dan. I don't know if I've ever really thought he was a graded stakes horse, but I do think that he fits well in this field. I like that he has some tactical speed. and I really don't like anybody else. I'm going to use this horse, but only if he's, somewhere in that 5 or 6. So if he takes a lot of money in this race, he's not the kind of horse I want to be betting on.
9-2 on the morning line for pattern recognition. Still having fun. Could have run against fellow 3-year-olds in the Gallant Bob at Parks on the Pennsylvania Derby undercard. That race was at 6 furlongs, though, and this late-running sprinter just projects better at 7, 7.5, even a 1-turn mile, which he won earlier in the year at Laurel, the Miracle Wood Stakes. In the Jerkins last time out, he ran okay, promises fulfilled. I thought got away with a nice, easy first quarter mile. He tried to pass some late. He needs an electric pace up front, and I'm not sure he's getting it here as he tries older horses for the first time.
I mean, it almost seems like there's no way he can get in here, and he's got to get the mile, which I'm not so sure that I feel. I hear what you're saying about the 6 at Parks. I still feel like they should have run him in that race, because I don't know if he wants to get a mile in a race like this. And really, I mean, where's his race that suggests that he's going to be able to, as weak as I feel like this field is, where's his race that suggests he's going to beat these horses? I know that he won the Stevens 2-back, but it's a race that almost fell into his lap. Other than that, he's just not good enough to beat these horses.
After Timeline won the first 4 starts of his career last year, including the Peter Pan and the Pegasus, we thought that we were looking at a potential Grade 1 stakes animal, and it just hasn't worked out. He just hasn't gotten any better in 2018. Now, maybe cutting back to the 1-turn route is what he wants. He does have a smidgen of tactical speed, and I wouldn't be surprised if Javier gets a little bit aggressive coming out of the gate. He might try to take this field to the front.
Yeah, maybe they will try and put him on the lead. I don't really know what you can do with him here. I hear you in that it feels like maybe the 1-turn mile is going to turn out to be his best game, but I mean, his last 4 races, I mean, he's been very short prices in all of them. He didn't do any running at all last time in the Aladar, and then Sunny Ridge just ran right by him at the top of the stretch 2 starts back. How's he beating that horse if he runs that race back?
Realm pulled off an upset in the Alydar Stakes at Saratoga. It was the first 2-turn race on dirt for Realm in over 2 years. He was all out to get it done over Timeline. You could argue he was also on the best part of the track in the stretch.
I agree with that. He ran well in that race, but things did work out for him. And he's just one of those horses who I feel like got good for a while last year, or 2 years ago actually. Didn't have a good year last year at all. I think he's been a little better this year, but still, you're talking about a horse who's running buyers in the upper 80s, low 90s. Not going to get it done in here.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Grade 2 Kelso Handicap. I'm going to go 6-4 in here. Mike's going to go 4-6. 4-6-1 for Mike, 6-4-5-7 for me. No Dozing has improved off the layoff. It's his 3rd start of the form cycle, and he should be right in the thick of things, if not outright in front, turning into the stretch.
I think all those things are true. I don't love him in this race, Dan. I don't like anybody else.
Pattern recognition, I think, has that tactical gear, and as you said, I think that's very key. He has also run some fast races, and coupled with the fact that you mentioned, this is not really the strongest Kelso that we've ever seen. I think 9-2 on this lightly raced Chad horse might be good value. Again, Mike's going 4-6-1. I'm going 6-4-5-7 in the Grade 2 Kelso Handicap, one of 2 graded stakes at Belmont on Saturday. Bet them both with the new DRF Bets account. Sign up, get a 300% deposit match at bets.drf.com. Approximate post time for the Kelso, 5:18 Eastern. Good luck.